Quite frankly, about 3 years ago, I got sick of church. I'm sick of 3 fast songs, 3 slow songs, 3 points and a conclusion. I don't want to keep reading the menu. I want a taste of the food. I don't want to hear about what God is doing. I want to be restored back to the sacred romance. I want to see lives change like the young man this morning. I want to see God doing miracles in the lives of young couples like those that I saw this morning. That's, to me, is what church is all about. And even my son, to see my son, how God changed his life, and even over my own life. I look at this economy. I remember it was in the early 90s when we lost everything we had. We were bankrupt. We went foreclosed. I kept praying, God, make a way, make a way. And God didn't make a way the way I thought he would. I remember the old deacon testifying in the church saying, he said, I went to the mailbox and there was a check for $1,000. I went to my mailbox and I just got bills. I kept thinking God was failing me. I kept saying, God, where are you? I remember sitting in the back of the bankruptcy court in 1990, over $100,000 in debt to the IRS. We lost our house. It was the month of December. I was so broke I couldn't even buy my daughters a Barbie doll. And I was angry at God. I was angry at church. God, you failed me. And I got to the point where I hated predominantly black churches because they were too emotional. I hated predominantly white churches. They were too dead. I'm not sure what kind of church this is. This might be heaven. I don't know. And I'm not going to be long, but I remember sitting in the back. Sorry, give me suddenly in a second. I remember sitting in the back of the bankruptcy court saying, God, you failed me. I knew a lot of word. I had memorized scripture. I knew a lot of the Bible. I had sung a lot of songs, and I even thought maybe I'd blessed a lot of people. But the word was dormant in my life. So who needs just another sermon? Who needs another song? And I said, God, at least I have my dignity. Nobody in the church knows how bad I'm doing. Nobody knows that I'm a loser, I'm a failure, I'm a bankrupt. 16 jobs in 14 years, failed every last one. And I'm sitting in the back of the bankruptcy court, about the size of this section. And I'm thinking, God, please, you got to come through for me. You got to come through for me. In 3 years of not sensing his presence, but 3 years of not even saying, God, what's your plan? I kept saying to God, here's my plan. Would you bless it? I never once said to God, what's your plan? It's already blessed. And I remember sitting back there and said, God, at least I have my dignity. Nobody knows that I'm here. And about that time, a Jamaican brother who's sitting in front of me turns around and says, hey, man, aren't you Alvin Slater singing the Brooklyn Tabernacle Choir, man? I'm like, dear God, thanks a lot. And I wanted to lie to him. I wanted to use the Jamaican accent back and says, no, man, me no Alvin Slater. So I said, yeah, man, I'm Alvin Slaughter. He said, man, you're in the bankruptcy court just like me, man. I said, yeah. He said, I guess it happened to the best of us, huh, man? I said, yeah. About that time, they called me, and I go to the front. The guy says a bunch of things, and before you know it, I'm bankrupt. Where am I going to take my family? What am I going to do with my children? We had to leave Queens, New York. We ended up moving out to the country. But I remember being in the bankruptcy court, and I'm leaving the aisle. I'm walking down the aisle, and all of a sudden, 3 years of hearing great preaching and good singing, but I never got my heart engaged because I was overwhelmed with problems. When you focus on the problem, you get more problems. When you focus on Jesus, he brings you through your situations, even if it's through the storm. Because there will be storms. So when the enemy comes in like a flood, and he will, God will always raise up the standard. I remember walking down, I said, God, I apologize. I've spent all these years talking to you and never waited in your presence to even get comfort if I had to go through this. And I remember it was like in a moment suddenly, and as I got to the door of the courtroom, I went and found myself a little hallway, and I began to weep in the presence of God. At that moment, I didn't care that I was bankrupt or a loser. I knew that somehow, some way, God would make a way where there would be no way. I didn't know how it was going to happen. But at that moment, I said, God, all of my intelligence, all of my connections, nothing produced fruit for me. So now, God, teach me your way. Teach me to be a warrior. Teach me how to be strong and not be intimidated by the things of the devil. And I don't have the time to tell you, but I will tell you this. That everything that the enemy robbed from my life, my joy, my peace, my self-esteem, my self-respect, God did not add that, but he multiplied that, because he's a God that is still able to do exceedingly abundantly above